So next we will see the difference between the synchronous and asynchronous bus. So advantages of synchronous bus, it eliminates the need of synchronization between the sender and the receiver. So means the advantage of asynchronous, what it is means, it should not be in the same time, means it should not wait when the bus will start at the time only it has to start. So that means immediately whenever the sender or the receiver want to communicate, they can communicate with each other. So that's the advantage of asynchronous bus. Another advantage is can accommodate varying delay automatically using slave ready signal. So if the slave is very slow, so then that can be means the speed can be adjusted with the help of slave ready signal. So but the disadvantage of asynchronous bus is data transfer rate with full handshake is limited by 2 round trip delays. So there is a 2 round trip delays, means before that handshake communication signal, in order to get that there is a delay, and then data transfer using a synchronous bus involves only 1 round trip delay, and hence synchronous buses are achieved faster compared to asynchronous. So here in case of synchronous only 1 round trip delay is there, whereas in case of asynchronous it's a 2 round trip delay. So in this way we can say that synchronous bus are faster for transmitting the data compared to asynchronous transmission. So the next is about interface circuits. So why we require this interface circuits? What are the part of this interface circuits? So that is going to study in this topic. So what's an interface circuit? Means interface circuits. I/O interface consists of the circuitry required to connect I/O device to a computer bus. Okay, so we require this device in order to connect it to a computer bus. So why means, as I have told you in the very first topic of this class, that so I have given a real life example, like if this is our tap and this is the end of the pipe, and this is a water tap and this is a pipe, and its circumference is different from the circumference of this pipe, then we should have to have some adjustment made, some device we require, so which will at one end it should fit directly to this tap, whereas at another end it should be as small as the circumference of a pipe. So then only we can able to smoothly connect these two devices. Okay, so this water tap can be connected to this pipe only if we have that type of interface component in between these two. So in the same way, while connecting the I/O device with the computer, we may require that, and that is taken care by this interface circuits. So I/O interface consists of the circuitry required to connect the I/O device to the computer bus. Side of the interface which connects to the computer has bus signals for address, data and control. So this interface circuitry, if it is like this, it sits between one side we are having the processor, and at the other side we are having I/O devices. Okay, so we are having I/O device at one end and processor at the another end. In between these interface circuits is fitted. Okay, so it is going to have two ends. So the side of the interface which connects to the computer has bus signals for, so at this end it is having address, data and control. So these are the things which are at the processor end of the interface circuit. So this interface circuit is going to have address, data and control at the processor side. The side of the interface which connects to the IO device has. So that is at this end, what it is going to have means it is going to have the data path and associated controls to transfer data between the interface and the IO device. Okay, so it is going to have the data path. Along with that, it is going to have different control signals which is used for an interfacing this with the IO device, and this side is called as port. So we call this side as port. This side is called as port. Okay. So now with this we come to know what a port means and why it is required at the time of interfacing. So let us see what are different type of port which this interface circuitry is going to have. So ports can be classified into two, parallel ports and serial ports. Ports can be of two types. So one is called as parallel port and another one is called as serial port. Parallel port transfer data in the form of number of bits. So parallel port transfer the data in the form of number of bits. So normally 8 or 16 are from the device. Okay, so it transfer in terms of bytes. Bit means 0 or 1. So whereas it transfer the data as 8 bits or 16 bits, means it is going to transfer bytes of data together. So whereas serial port transfer and receives data 1 bit at a time. So if we are going to say the port is serial, it means at a time it can able to transfer or receive only 1 bit of data. Processor communicates with a bus in the same way whether it is parallel port or serial port. So that is at the end of the processor, it never come to know whether it is a serial or a parallel port. So it is going to consider that whatever it is, its way of communication remains same. So that is conversion from parallel to serial and vice versa takes place inside the interface circuit. So in this interface circuit, it is going to take care whether the data is to be converted to parallel or the serial. So, and the processor will never know whether it is communicating with the serial device or the parallel device. So here is the diagram which shows the parallel port. Here we are having the processor. So as we have already seen in the introduction of interface circuitry, so the processor is going to have the data and then address and then the control lines. So it is having the data and then the address and then we are having the control lines. So since we are interacting with the input device, here keyboard, it is not an output device, it's an input device. The input comes from the device to the processor. That's why here the data is only in this direction. So and this interface circuitry, so this already seen in short in one of the chapter of SIBO. So we are having a buffer. So and this is the buffer. Okay, data in is a buffer and S in it is going to give us the information whether there is a data which is to be read. Okay, if it is already read, it is in one state. If it is just inside the buffer, then this S in is in some other state. Okay, so and that whether the data is there or already read, that is taken care by this status in bit. Okay, and these two are inside the input interface. So this input interface is nothing but an interface circuitry here, and this is connected to the keyboard. Okay, so this keyboard switches, so whenever we press any of these keys, so that is decoded, okay, and that is encoded by the debouncing circuit. So once the debouncing circuit will get the information, it will transfer the data to this buffer with the help of data bus, and at the same time it will check whether the key which is pressed, it is valid or not by this control signal. Okay, so once everything is correct, then from this interface circuitry the data is transmitted to the processor. So that is how the data is transmitted from the keyboard to the processor. And since here we are using parallel port, it means whole data transferred from this circuitry to the processor at a time. So let us see the explanation which is given here. Keyboard is connected to the processor using parallel port. So keyboard, it is connected to the processor using parallel port. Processor is a 32-bit and uses memory mapped I/O and asynchronous bus protocol. Okay, it uses memory mapped I/O. Memory mapped I/O means even the I/O devices are also considered as memory. So and it uses asynchronous bus. Asynchronous bus means means the data transmission is not at the same time as that of the bus clock timing. So on the processor side of the interface, we have data lines, address lines, control or read write line, master ready signal and slave ready signal. So the same explanation is continued here. So the same diagram is given on the keyboard side of the interface, that is on the keyboard side of the interface, encoder circuitry will generate a code for the key pressed. So whenever any key is pressed, this encoder will generate a particular code. So debouncing circuit which eliminates the effect of the key bounce. And then data line contains the code for the key. So whichever the key is pressed, so its equivalent data is sent through this data bus. Valid line changes from 0 to 1 when key is pressed. So whenever a key is pressed, this valid line changes its state from 0 to 1 in order to indicate that a key is pressed. This causes the code to be loaded into the data in and SIN is set to 1. So this valid, with the help of this valid line, this SIN is going to set or reset. So if key is pressed, then this SIN will be at one state in order to tell that key is pressed. So in this way, the parallel port interface circuitry is used in order to connect the processor with the keyboard.